Hey guys, in this episode we are going to build this complete responsive website with HTML and CSS. In my VS Code, I opened my project folder, and inside that we have all the images that we are going to use in this website and a HTML file with basic HTML template with CSS file linked up. And inside my CSS file, we imported a Google font called Poppins and we removed the default margin and paddings. So now let's build this full screen background image with this beautiful text, and after this we're gonna move on to our navbar. So now let's open our HTML file, and inside our body, let's create a header. Inside this we have a header content, and inside our header content we have a h2 with a text called explore the colorful world. And after this we have a div called line, and after that we have a h1 with a text called a wonderful gift. So now let's open this with live server. Now let's style this. So let's open our CSS file, and inside this target our header and make width 100 VW and a height 100 VH, and add background image URL inside our images header busy, and make background position bottom and background size cover. You can see our beautiful full screen background image. You can see this is completely responsive. This image grows up when we are in desktop mode, and it shrinks down to mobile devices as well. Now let's make this text into center, and before that let's add a button here, and after our h1 let's create an anchor tag with a class name of ctn. This will be learn more. For all our anchor tags, remove text decoration to none. For our header, add display flex and align items center, and justify content center. Now you can see our text is in center right here, and if you make align items to end, flex end, our text will be right here. You can see our text is here. Now let's target our header content and add a margin bottom of 150 pixel and color white smoke, and text align center. Now inside our header content let's target our h2 and add a font size of 4 vmin. By adding vmin, our text will get responsive. If you see, if I increase the width, our text size increases, and if I decrease the screen width, our text size also decreases. And now let's target our line. For this, add a width of 150 pixel and a height of 4 pixel and add background of this color. And now you can see our line is at starting of the text. To make it into center, add margin, top and bottom 10 pixel, left and right auto. You can see our line is in center, and for this add a border radius of 5 pixel. And now inside our header content, let's target our h1. For this add a font size of 7 vmin and add margin top 50 pixel and margin bottom 30 pixel. And now let's target our CTN, which is this learn more button. For this add a padding of 8 pixel top and bottom and 15 pixel left and right, and add a background of this line color and make border radius 30 pixel and color white smoke. Now you can see our beautiful full screen background image is completed. You can see this is completely responsive. Now let's move on to our navbar. So now let's open our HTML file, and before this header let's create our navbar. I will create a nav with a class name of navbar, and inside that we have our logo. Our logo will be adventure. And after our logo, we have a UL with a class name of navlinks. Inside that we have some LIs. This is for home, and if you hold Alt, Shift and down arrow, this will copy that line, and I will copy this 3 more times. This is for tours, this is for explore, and this is for about. And I will add a class name of CTN to this, and this is for our contact. Add this class name to our LI. Okay, now let's open our CSS file, and at here let's style our navbar. Let's target our navbar, and for this add display flex and position absolute and top 0 and left 0, and add width 100% and justify content space between, and add a padding of 20 pixel and color white smoke. And at here let's target our UL, and for this add list style none. And at here let's target our nav links. You can see our nav links are aligned vertically, so to make it in a horizontal, add display flex and align items center. And inside our nav links target our LI. For this add margin top and bottom 0 and left and right 30 pixel. Now you can see our beautiful navbar. Now let's make this responsive. So to make this responsive, and before going to make it responsive, I will add a active class for this home. So inside our LI, let's create a class here, active, And inside our CSS file, let's target that active class and add color this, and add text decoration, underline, and font weight bold. You can see our active nav link have this color. Now let's make this responsive. So to make this responsive, at here we will leave a comment of mobile device. For this, add a media query, media only screen, and max width of 850 pixel. Target our navbar and make padding 0. After that, target our logo. For this, add position absolute and top 30 pixel and left 30 pixel. Now you can see our logo here. Now let's target our nav links, add flex direction, column, and width 100% and height 100 VH. Justify content, center. Now you can see our nav links are here, and inside our nav links, target our li and add margin top and bottom 30 pixel and left and right auto. And for our nav links, let's add a background of this color. Awesome. Now you can see our beautiful navbar here. Now let's open our HTML file. Inside our HTML file, after this UL, let's add a image with a class name of menu button. This will be inside our images on menu button.png. Now let's open our CSS file and target that menu button and add position absolute and top 30 pixel and right 30 pixel. You can see our menu button here. Now let's change this width to 40 pixel. Awesome. And cursor pointer. And now if we click on this menu button, our mobile nav have to appears, and if I click again, it has to disappear. So to make that, inside our nav links, add margin top minus 900 pixel and add a class name here of mobile menu and add margin top 0 pixel. Now open our HTML file, and before this body tag, let's add a script tag, and inside this, let's get our menu button document dot query selector, our menu button, and get our nav links. Document dot query selector, nav links. Next, we need to add this dot here and the exact name as we given here. And now for our menu button, let's add a event listener on click. For our nav link, add a class list, nav links dot class list dot toggle that mobile menu. Now if I click on this menu button, our mobile menu appears, and if I click again, it disappears. Now we have to add a smooth animation for this. To add that, inside our nav links, add transition all 0.5 seconds ease. If I click here, our mobile menu appears from the top. And for our mobile menu, add border bottom right radius. Add this 30%. I can see this beautiful border radius here. If we click here, it disappears, and if we click again, it appears. Now our beautiful responsive navbar is completed, and you can see our mobile menu is appearing here. We have to remove that. For our mobile menu, add display none, and inside our mobile screen, target our menu button and add display block. Awesome. You can see our beautiful responsive header section, full screen header section, and navbar is completed. Now let's move on to our next section, which is these events. So let's open our HTML file, and after our header section, I will create a section called events. A section with the class name of events. I will create a section, and inside that we have our title. Inside our title we have a h1 with the text upcoming events and a line. And inside our CSS file, let's target that. Let's target our section, and for this add a width of 80% and margin top and bottom 80 pixel and left and right auto. Let's target our title. For this add text align center and font size 4 min and change color to this color. And after this title, let's add these images. If you can see, this is a row, and inside this row we have two columns, which is for this image and this text, and for this image and this text. So inside our HTML file, after the title, I will create a row. Inside that we have a column. Inside that column we have a image, which is our image. Inside our images or image 1, and after that we have this h2 and this text and a learn more button. We'll create a h4 with a text called Everest Camp Trek. And after that we have a p tag with some dummy text and a anchor tag with the class name of ctn with the text learn more. And duplicate this column, and at here add image 2 and change this title to Walking Holidays. And for this section add a class name events, and at here target our row, and for this add display flex. You can see these images here and align items center. Now inside our row, let's target our column. For this add a width of 80%. Inside our column target our image, and for that add a width of 80%. And our row add a width of 100% and justify content space between. To see what's happening there, let's add a background for this of dark blue. You can see our image, one of the image is at starting of this flex, and this image is at here. To make this go all the way up here, inside our column add display flex and flex direction, column, and align items, center. You can see these are perfectly aligned. Now let's remove this background color. Now inside our events, target our row, and for this add margin top 50 pixel. I didn't add margin top for this row here because I want to reuse this in other sections. So I targeted this events and added margin top 50 pixel here. For our H4, let's add a font size of 3 vmin and color of this color, and add margin top and bottom 20 pixel and left and right auto. Now let's target our p tag. For this add a color of this and add padding 0 pixel top and bottom and left and right 40 pixel. And inside our events, let's target our CTN, and for this add margin top 30 pixel. You can see our event section is beautiful and completed. And now you can see there is a horizontal scrolling here. To remove that, open our CSS file, and inside this let's target our body and HTML. For this add overflow X hidden. You can see there is no horizontal scrolling here. Now let's move on to our next section. We'll create a section with a class name of explore. Inside this we have a H1 with a text explore the world, and after that we have a p tag with some dummy text, and after that we have a anchor tag with a class name of CTN. This will be our learn more button. Now let's target this explore inside our CSS file. For this add a width of 100% and a height of 80 VH, and add background image. This will be URL, and inside our images bg2.png. You can see this image here, and for this background position, center, and background size, cover, and background repeat, no repeat. Let's make this height to 100 VH, so this will be nook. So this will be nice, I guess. Awesome. Now let's style this text. So to do that, open our HTML file and place all the text inside a div called explore content. Now let's target this. For our explore, add display flex, and for our explore content, add a width 50% and padding 50 pixel. And for our explore, align items center. Inside our explore content, target our H1, and for all of this let's add a color of white smoke. Now for our H1, add font size of 7 vmin, margin bottom 50 pixel, and makes this width to 60%. This will be nice, I guess. Awesome. Now inside our explore content, target our p tag. For this, add a color of white to something like this. So this will be visible. And for this, add display flex and then items, center, and flex direction column. And inside our explore content, target our CTN and add margin top 40 pixel. Awesome. Now let's open our HTML file, and after this h1 let's add a line. And now let's remove this margin here, and inside our explore content target our line, and for this and the margin bottom 50 pixel. You can see our beautiful background image with this beautiful text. And now let's move on to our next section, which is this upcoming tools. So now let's open our HTML file, and after this section I will create another section with a class name of tools. For this I will add a row, and inside that we have a column. Inside this first column we have this h1 text and this paragraph. So I will create a h1 with this text, and after that we have a p tag with some dummy text, and after that we have our anchor tag with a class name of CTN, and this will be learn more button. Now let's add another column and add a class name for this, and add a class name of, and inside this column let's add a div called image gallery, and inside this we have our images. Inside our images, or image 3, this will be image 4, image 5, and image 6. Now you can see all the images here and this beautiful text. And I will add another class name for this column right here. This will be image col, so that we can target this column and change this text. So now let's open our CSS file. Inside our tools, target our image gallery, and for this add display flex, and inside our image gallery target our images. For this add a width of 300 pixel, and at here add flex wrap. And inside our tools and inside our row, our column has a width of 50%. Now you can see our image gallery here. So for our images, let's add a margin of 10 pixel. Let's add this image width to 250 pixel and a margin of 10 pixel. Now I want to make this image gallery occupy more width and this text right here less width. So to do that, let's open our HTML file, and at here I will add a class name content call, and at here image call, and inside our CSS file let's remove this and target our content call. For this add a width of 40%, and for our image call add a width of 60%. You can see this is occupying more width. So now let's open our CSS file, and for this add a width 100% and align items center. And inside our image gallery, let's add max width 300 pixel. You can see our beautiful image gallery here. Now let's style this text. So inside our content call, target our H1. For this font size 7 min and color this, and inside our HTML file, for this I will add a line, and inside our content call for our line, margin left -1 pixel, because we added margin auto for this at here, so this will be in center. Now if we add margin -1 pixel, this will be in the start. Inside our content call, let's target our p tag, and for this add padding 0 and margin top and bottom 30 pixel and left and right auto. Now let's target this learn more button. Inside our content call, let's target our CTN and add margin left -100 pixel. Now let's open our HTML file, and after this section I will create another section with a class name of footer. And inside this we have a p tag with this text and another p tag with copyright text. Now let's target our footer, and for this add a width of 100% and a height of 200 pixel and padding top and bottom 20 pixel and left and right 80 pixel and margin 0. And let's add a background of this color. And add text align center. And let's change this width to 100 pixel, then that will be nice, I guess. Awesome. So inside our footer, let's target our p tag, and for this add color white smoke and margin top and bottom 20 pixel left and right auto, and padding top and bottom 20 pixel left and right auto. Now let's change this height to min height so that it will occupy the required height. Awesome. Now you can see our beautiful website is completed. Now let's make this website responsive. Now you can see our header section is completely responsive, including this beautiful navbar. Now let's make our event section responsive. So to do that, let's open our CSS file and add here our event section. So for our row, add flex direction to column. You can see our beautiful images here. And inside our column for our image, add a max width of 90%. Awesome. And inside our row for our column, add margin top and bottom 20 pixel left and right auto. You can see this responsive here. You can see our event section is completely responsive. Now let's target our explore section. Now inside our explore section, let's target our explore content. For this, add width to 100%. Beautiful. Now let's target our tools section. Inside our tools, let's target our column, and for this add width 100%. And inside that, target our image gallery, add justify content, center, and align items, center. And inside our image gallery, for our image, add width 90%. You can see our beautiful image gallery here. Now let's target our photo section. For this, add padding of 10 pixel. Now you can see our website is completely responsive and beautiful looking. And now let's add some animations and over effect for our website. So let's open our CSS file, and after here I will leave a comment animations. Let's target our images. For this, add a transition for transform 0.3 seconds is. So on our image hover, let's transform scale 1.1. You can see if I hover here, we have this beautiful effect. And for our images, we have this beautiful effect. So now let's target our CTN. On hover, let's change this background to white smoke and color to this red color. You can see if I hover, we have this beautiful effect. And let's add a box shadow, 2 pixel, 2 pixel, and 5 pixel of this black color. Now let's decrease this opacity to something like this. You can see we have this beautiful effect. And inside our navbar, let's add a hover effect for this. So for our li, on hover, let's change this color to this, and cursor, pointer. Now we made this complete responsive website just with HTML and CSS. So for more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. So this is all for this episode. I see you guys in the next video.